Hey everyone, Mistik here. Welcome back to the Should You Buy series where I review items in Graal era. In this series, each item is rated on its usefulness to the player, the rarity of it in the game, and the demand it has with the player base. Afterwards, I speak to the price of the item and give my opinion on whether it's worth spending your hard-earned shells on. Today, we are going to be going over one of the most requested items lately, the healing Paladin Staff. Now, before we get into the video, I'd like to thank everyone for the amazing support with presents this year. Last video, I asked for about 200 presents and I've ended up with over 550. This means I'll be able to make a huge present opening for you guys and even better, an amazing overview of everything in them and their rates. And that is all because of you guys. Now without further ado, let's get into this video. Starting out with usefulness, Paladin Staff is relatively unique. It is one of only 3 tradable items that can heal 3 per heal tick. This means that it is just as good as Rage Blade, Winter Staff, Event Coin Staffs, and any other fast healing item. This is the highest healing category in the game, so for most players, this type of item is very needed. This means that many base and player kill players utilize heal staffs, and I'll get to why that is important for the item in a little bit. Apart from healing, Paladin Staff also can be used as a melee, which deals 8 damage with a surprisingly fast attack speed. These stats again align with all other 3 per heal staffs, and sadly this means that Paladin does not have any advantage over Rage Blade or Winter Staff when considering which heal staff to purchase in trade tables. As well, Paladin does not have any effects when dealing damage. This was also disappointing as Rage Blade actually has a burn effect which provides a minuscule but noticeable advantage. Paladin still is one of the most useful items you can buy when considering its healing ability and the decent melee it provides on top of that. This allows it to receive a 9 out of 10 in terms of usefulness. Next up is Rarity, and Paladin is quite an interesting one in this respect. Paladin was introduced in auctions about 8 or 9 months ago and has been pretty consistently auctioned once a month. From this, I can assume that there are about 12 Paladin Staffs in game because they also auctioned a few on their introductory auction. My assumption was this was added to auctions to reduce the amount of Rage Blades they were auctioning, as Rage has been auctioned over 40 times. Now, 12 Paladin Staffs may seem like a lot, but heal staffs work in a very interesting way when considering rarity. Although they may be auctioned quite frequently, they still seem slightly rare inside of tables. This is because, as I said before, many PK and base players purchase these items and take them out of the trade rotations, or just straight up buy them out of auctions and they never even enter trades. This is increasingly important for Paladin because it's generally regarded as the coolest heal staff, so many rich PK players want it more than the other ones. Although the item is quite common in the game in general, due to the increasing amount actually disappearing from trade tables, I still give Paladin a 7 out of 10 in rarity. I've already spoken a lot about this category, but next up is demand. As stated before, Paladin Staff is among the best heal staffs in the game, which means most PK and base players will be looking for one. What adds to this is that Paladin is also one of the most showy and loud looking items in the entire game. Its heal is a bright shower of blue and purple particles, and while it attacks, it also irradiates a bright animation. As well, while you're just holding Paladin, sparkles emit from you. These animations and graphics make Paladin Staff a highly sought after item for PvP players, collectors, and show-offs alike. Because of this, the demand for Paladin Staff is actually quite high and diverse, and to me deserves an 8 out of 10 in demand. The price for Paladin Staff is also quite erratic. About 3 months into the item being released, it had settled at around 140k. This was actually when Rage Blade was about 100k, so this was a reasonable gap between the two. However, Paladin has risen lately and has found itself around the 240k mark, which is a rise of over 100k. Rage Blade, however, has found itself at only 125k, creating a 115k gap between the 2 most popular heal staffs in the game. I believe this gap is unsustainable and will probably close very soon. The most likely of events here is that Paladin would see some consistent drops over the next few months. However, if it is not auctioned and stays as rare as it is right now, the item could stay stable or rise. However, I feel Paladin Staff breaking past the 250k mark in the next 6 months is very unlikely. As for my opinion, it is no secret that Paladin is one of my favorite items in the game. It has amazing effects and graphics, as well as it's one of the most useful types of items in the entire game. I am personally a collector and the item fits well into my inventory, however this may not be the case for everyone. I actually recommend that if you're not an extremely rich player that collects or likes to show off, that you don't buy Paladin Staff. Even though it scored very high and I pretty much have no negatives to say about it, Paladin Staff just isn't practical. If you're looking for a heal staff, you're much better off spending 50 event coins or buying a Rage or Winter Staff for over half the price. In my opinion, Paladin's price is just too high currently for a player looking to keep it. There's also a large amount of risk just from owning it. The item could drop heavily and has a low amount of potential to rise. Overall, it is just not the right choice for the average player. And with that, this is the end of the video. If you haven't already, please smash that like button and of course subscribe to keep yourself up to date on all Graal news, items, and updates. Also, comment down below your thoughts on Paladin Staff and any items you'd want me to review in future episodes. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.